Hello, everyone. This is Real Lion back at you again. We'll talk about this Jeremy Massey case, the interview he had on CNN, hosted by Don Lemon with CNN Tonight. Massey was checked in at the Doubletree Hotel on that afternoon on December the 22nd, and he went out for dinner and he went to the Travis Scott, concert, and afterwards he returned around 11 o'clock. He saw that he missed a call from his mom, and he went back to his cell phone, to a secure place, lobby for a few minutes to discuss some things that was going on with his mom, whatever the case may be. It was a personal, private matter. The security personnel approached him and said they were going to call the police on him. So evidently, they had to know this young man had a room there. They didn't care. And I guess the officer Earl walked up to Massey and asked him. He asked him, and he said, "I don't know why I'm having a conversation right now. Can you leave me alone right now?" Massey recalled in the Instagram video. The security guard said Massey was trespassing and he was going to call the police. And at that point, the video recording began, what I'm saying? He had to tell people what's going on by showing the video. But that's what we have to do with white supremacy, because, it's our word versus their word. And the security guard was standing over him like, So evidently they knew this young man, and the police came and they gave him an alternative, or alternating, I should say. He either had a choice to stay and be arrested or leave, and the young man smartly, he left because he asked him what was his options, and that's what he did. But now I got all the things and the preliminaries out the way. This is what we tell everyone when we telling everyone we need our own platform on a lot of stuff. Don't believe all of this lobby, conservative, moderate, Democrat, Republican, all of this other stuff, overthrown. Don't believe the commercials, the stuff that's on TV. That's all hogwash, and that's all for you and me to buy things. Of course they're going to jazz it up because it's about money. So men, you have to be smarter than that and objective to know these are the things that they're going to say and they're going to do when it comes to us. It don't matter how much money you make, where you live, where you shop, who you think you are to them. They'll laugh with you and passively aggressively do these things to affect me and you on the everyday life, regardless of what we think and feel, who we are. I know that's something that a lot of us love to say when it comes to white supremacy, when it comes to those who dictate lobbies and policies, and those who deal with us on a day-to-day basis and say they study the tape and analyze and things of that nature. They can go in more depth on us as a people, the problems we have. And they know deep down, the majority of us want to go along to get along, and they're scared. And they're scared because they have worked very hard on what they have worked and earned for. And the last thing they want to do is jeopardize that because of some white supremacist or a bigot want to, use his privilege to do those things. Now, I want someone to put on a thinking cap right now. It's like this. You buy a sandwich, right? You pay for the sandwich. I chase you down the street and snatch the sandwich out of your hand. Is I'm wrong for snatching the sandwich out of your hand and you didn't pay for it? That's how this whole thing was egregious. And this is why we tell everyone white supremacy do not care about taking an L or a lawsuit. Their job is to keep their foot on our neck. They feel because of what's going on 20, 30 years from now that they're going to be obsolete. And that has nothing to do with us. That's their own doing. We got nothing to do with any of that stuff. A lot of the stuff that's happening to them got nothing to do with us. It's them versus them. But if you let them take it, they'll say we're taking the jobs, we're taking the women, we're taking the money, we're running the sports, we're doing the sports. Then they say, can you get your own? Well, you keep cutting off the heads of the snake. You keep cutting off the ones and you're raising up the ones that have very little authority or influence on us because the real recognize the real. And the ones that have too much self-hate, all of the token Negroes and all of the cyber and all of the sleeper cell bedwench mentality women, is not working because we know what's happening. We know it's a purge. We know it's open season, especially on so-called black men. We know that. So they can have as many boot-kissing, catch and fetch Negroes on the payroll. They can say all the things they want on social media, but we're not taking the bait or the fall. Because every day we see how we're being targeted, regardless of what we do. And this is why we shut down the Jason Woodlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths and all of the social media conservatives, liberal, regardless of how you look, it's still on the same bird. And they say racism doesn't exist, things of that nature. Here's the thing. Some of us so great, they can't stop everybody. But they can profile you. And I guarantee you, on a daily basis, they're getting profiled. They're getting a bigot mindset. Of course, because of money, they're going to say those things. Just like anyone and everyone who's dealing with us on that level, they're going to say whatever it takes because why? It's about monetization. You think Candace Owens going to believe or want to bring up the fact that how that's all started was her father when she got racially profiled from Stanford and she got a $5,000 lawsuit for discrimination? You know what I mean? She's not going to bring that up because why? Fox News and all this commentary, they pay her. So she don't mind being a bedwench. She don't mind being a voice because that's what they do. You think the Silk and Diamond and all the Jason Longans, you think these guys, they don't care? They're scared. The spirit has been beaten out of them. And too much self-hate and lack of knowledge of true self. And don't know who we are, don't care because why? We're scared. And they'll sit here and talk about how I have to work hard. And if you close your eyes, they utter the same sentiments as white supremacists and white supremacist mindset people. Now, when I say white supremacy, and if that's something you're not into or believe in, and you take some issue with that, then maybe I am talking to you. Because here's the difference between me. You show me the tape when we racially profile you on this day, that we act violence. You show me anything that tell me outside of the rhetoric that I'm seeing that is different or off base. I don't want to hear nothing about no liberal garbage. I don't want to hear nothing about no conservative garbage because that's BS. All of that is the same thing. It's just like Hillary Clinton gonna date rape you and Donald Trump gonna tell you flat out, I'm gonna rape you. That's the only difference because they both bad. The silent death and the kill shot. That's it. And it's all on the same bird and the head of white supremacists. And white supremacists don't even mind if they have to use other white people. Long as the agenda, they have to take that oath, and they got to take that L, and they got to take one for the team. They don't care if people think and feel about any of that stuff. Because white supremacy is an institution. It's different when me and you dealing with individuals. It's different when me and you had to deal with certain businesses or constituents or whatever. But the bottom line is fundamentally who we're dealing with. We're dealing with an institution of racism. We're dealing with an institution that have established, that's how the police was established. You know what I mean? By hunting down black men. That's what that star is about. That's the oath we're taking. And those of us in law enforcement, security, all of that can tell us what it is. Especially those like us that have served in the military. We know what's happening. These demons don't give a damn about us. You think they care because we're whining and we're crying, we're complaining, we're moaning and groaning. They getting turned on by that. You don't get that. And you see video after video after video of they going after so-called soft target. Men, women, and especially the children. In fact, their specialty is children. The ones who can't fight back. because they have that. And we're going to bring an army of M1 tank and MC-130s against one baby with a baby rattle. That's what kind of monsters we're dealing with. You saw the one I'm going to do later about the woman broke the baby 2-month-old back. And, you know what I mean? And they unfazed about this. And then the video that's on here talking about the lawyer here, he's reeking with it too. But like we say, this is about money, you know? And then he's compromised because he talks so much about race, Don Lemon, but he goes to sleep with one. So now you have someone who's really compromised. Because what it looks like, I'm going to talk about white supremacists and white extreme racism, but I'm sleeping with one, literally. One is screwing me. You know, you see what I'm saying? And that's when we tell everyone, until we get out of this mindset of black woman versus black man, because I know that's big on YouTube, because that's money. Monetization ain't trying to build or trying to do it responsibly. Your platform, you know, ain't interested in building constructive dialogue, only attack, mess, and we got to deal with enemies. It's like we in a fight, and the fight is in front of us, but we got to watch behind us, to the left and to the right. So, like I tell everyone, if they wanted to do a martial law, what could we do as a people? We're so divided, and we think as individuals, and that's the mindset of Willie Lynch, of Stockholm Syndrome, of self-hate. Because they're picking us off by one. The only thing we're going to do is stick our phone out the door and do a video. But because when it comes down to them, you look at any race, especially the African people, that's not our people. I'm not saying everyone there have blood ties to us. No, I'm saying over 80% of them, they are not us. And in fact, they're just as racist as the white people compared to us. In fact, everybody, but we're chiefly talking about Asians and white people and so-called black people and even Hispanic people. But because too much self-hate and lack of knowledge of true self, that's how they're picking us off. That's how Mr. Massey have to deal with this stuff. Because why? I'm sure somebody black saw this going on, but they sit there and they watch. I'm sure someone else could have recorded or accounted for what was going on. But because we're so scared, and when it comes down to knuckleheadness, everyone will put their phone out, everybody be on point, everybody want to put it on War Star. But when they talk about being on real code, nobody about that life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's about that life. And I tell everyone who listen, they're going to keep picking us off. They're going to keep single-handedly dealing with us. Because why? We're not together. And I say peace, like, and subscribe to my videos. I encourage those, to comment. Give me a feedback. Let me know what you think and feel. All right, now I'm out.